My name is Julie Hassett. I work at MyWallSt as head of copywriting and sales, and I live in Glen Arm, Maryland, just outside of Baltimore. I had many careers in my life, and it just so happened that I started a job as a receptionist at a brokerage firm. And I slowly started to absorb information about the stock market, but I still was I was a little intimidated. I felt like I was surrounded by a lot of wealthy people coming and going all of the time. And I still had this idea that stock investing was something that people with a lot of money do. And so it took me years of even working in an industry that is completely focused on stock picking before I journeyed from 0 to 1. And I finally made the leap when I felt like I had enough money, and I was listening in as to what people like, and not just what brokers were recommending to their clients, but what they were actually buying themselves. And so there was a stock that somebody that I trusted was really, we would always say, pounding the table on. And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do it. I'm ready. I'm gonna buy it. And at the time, commissions were like 19.95 a trade, right? So it was like you kind of like had to be like, okay, is $20 for this trade like worth what I'm gonna buy? And so I finally did, and I bought it, and that was Hawaiian Airlines. It's exciting. I mean, I think you feel like you're, I don't know, for me it was like I felt like I was really becoming an adult, like this is the thing adults do, this is the thing that responsible people do. So it just felt like one more step into I don't know, like a transformation of who I was. I was just more grown up. I was doing um I don't know, things that mature, responsible people do. So yeah, it was cool, and certainly it snowballed in the years ahead, and just became something I got really interested in. My lessons have been marijuana stocks. Those were things where I didn't know enough about the regulations, about the market. It was really just like, hey, hot stock tip, great way to make some quick cash. And that has been my biggest lesson and biggest money loser to date. And but again, exactly, it was a lesson. And I know now that it's smarter to focus on companies that I understand, use their product, and can really see a real path forward for them. I would say don't wait until you feel like you have some amount of money that feels like it's enough. I mentioned that that's kind of what kept me from doing it, because I just saw wealthy people investing, and like I said, at the time, commissions were like $20 a trade. Now they're zero, or they're a penny, or so you can start with any amount of money. And I would say just don't let that hold you back. If you've got $50 and you're like, I don't have anything to spend this $50 on, buy some shares, just get started. Do it every week. And that would be my advice. Start and then do it regularly, consistently. I have a automatic draft that invests every week or every month, depending on which account it goes into. And I think that's, once you get started, that's the number one thing to remember, is just keep it up and do it regularly.